What's up, guys? I'm the Philosopher. I'm a life coach and a former game developer, and I want to talk about one of the #1 reasons why people should start going to more tournaments, more majors, more locals, as much as they can go to if their goal is to get better at fighting games. First off, the thing that I hear the most is that a lot of players say that they're not good enough to go to a tournament, or they're not ready to go to a tournament, or something along those lines, which I kind of understand in the sense that you don't want to expose yourself to getting beat down badly and embarrassing yourselves or something along those lines in front of a bunch of people, wasting your money or feeling like you're wasting your money, and then just going back with a loss, with going 0-2. And from that sense, I understand, but a lot of times these choices are more so based on the ego, trying to preserve our feelings and things of that nature. But the topic that I want to talk about is immersion learning. And some of you guys may be familiar with this, some of you guys may not, but I just want to at least touch on this so that you understand the concept of why it's useful and how it applies to going to tournaments. So immersion learning is pretty simple. Basically, you put yourself in a situation where you are essentially forced to use this specific thing that you're trying to improve at. The easiest example is learning a language. If you're trying to learn a language, you want to put yourself where you're going to have to learn that language by necessity. If you go to Japan, you're trying to learn Japanese, then you are kind of forced to actually learn to speak that language, or you're going to flop. So it's really important and very useful, and you're going to learn a lot faster because it's necessity. And that's kind of where this concept of immersion learning applies to going to a tournament. If you go to like a major, something like Combo Breaker or even Michigan Masters I just went to, you're going to be around a lot of people who play fighting games. Now, of course, you can go and do casual stuff because there's a lot of things, but if your goal is to actually get better, then you need to force yourself to be around those people, go to those 24-hour venues that tend to be happening a lot more nowadays, and actually talking to these people, because everyone has their own niche knowledge. You might meet someone who's not that good at fighting games themselves, but their knowledge of like frame data or like very specific stuff is super extensive. A lot of commentators, if you have the opportunity to talk to them, then a lot of them know how the game works or how certain people are going to play because they've seen so many matches and observed them. They may not be the best player, but there are so many people that you're going to be around. So if just having conversations without even actually playing the game, just having conversations like all day and not just being by yourself, like even if you're an introvert, I know it's very hard, but just try to do it just for your own selfish reasons. But just being around people, playing a bunch of sets, sitting down with really good players and being like, hey, let's play some matches. Can you give me some advice? Can you tell me what I'm doing wrong? And you're not gonna get that if you don't go to these events. And the reason I say majors and tournaments specifically is because you're there for a couple of days, you're away from society. Usually you have to travel a little bit, so you got a hotel, and money is a whole nother topic, and maybe I'll make a video about saving and things of that nature. But to stay on the topic of immersion learning, you're in this area with a bunch of other people who are basically trapped together playing fighting games. And now it's not trapped in a negative sense, it's trapped in a great sense, because you're around a lot of blah, blah, blah. It's not trapped in a bad sense, it's trapped in a good sense because you're around a lot of other people who have chosen to be here and play and get better. When you do that, when you go out, you're going to kind of force yourself to play, to get better, to have these conversations. And going to weeklies is still good. If you have those, I kind of have a small one myself, but I'm trying to help it to grow now. But if you have those, that's great. But I find that you're actually going to level up a lot faster by going to these tournaments, these 2 or 3 day tournaments where you get a hotel room with a bunch of other friends, and then you just play a bunch of matches. Even if all your friends play different fighting games, which tends to be the case with me and my friends, you go and find new friends. You go and just play. You don't have to you don't have to learn their name or whatever. I mean, if you want to make new friends, you can go that far. But if you're just trying to level up, you just sit down with people and they'll play you. Just keep asking, stand behind, watch some matches, be like, hey, can I get next after this set? Let them play their first to 2, then you play the person who wins, and you play as often until someone tries to ask you to, the loser to get off. The winner stays on kind of thing. That's sort of the common thing. But usually there's a bunch of setups, so you can walk around, you can watch some matches, and you just keep requesting, keep asking questions. Most people aren't going to get annoyed by that unless you keep badgering them in some odd way and you don't quite understand social interaction that well. That I get. Maybe I'll make a separate video for that down the line, for social interaction and social anxiety. That's kind of an interesting topic. But anyways, I don't want to go on too long about this. I think you get my point here, but I really want to drive home the idea that going to these tournaments is important for you to get better. If your goal is to go there and to try to win, and you know that you can't even get past like silver or whatever the equivalent rank is in your fighting game of choice, then yeah, that's kind of an unrealistic goal. But if your goal is to get better at fighting games, then it might be worth investing some money and some time to go to these events so that you can be around people and just be around the immersion of people being there. Just talking about fighting games for a day and a half or 2 days, 2.5 days, that's very, very useful, especially if you're trying to get to the point to where you're making money winning matches. You're going to have to invest a little money in yourself to get around people that are better than you so that you can learn how to beat them. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Hopefully you guys found this useful. Let me know what you think down below. As always, this is a conversation. This isn't me talking at you, it's me talking with you. So I need to know what you guys think about this, if that makes sense. If you think I'm wrong, if you agree and you've done this personally, let the conversation go down below. You know, let your friends that don't go to tournaments watch this video and get them to interact in the conversation. So that said, thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and press that like button. Also, I want to be sure to thank my patrons who are helping to support me. If you do want to consider supporting me on Patreon, even $1 goes a long way and I would appreciate it so much. And of course, make sure you share this video with other people. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one.